his father says, hey, if you want to stay here and work at the farm and hang out, that's fine. And he tells his dad, no, he's going to go to college and finish his degree, and the GI Bill covers his cost of his college. And he says, there's not a great deal to do while home on leave. I walked in the woods a lot and visited our old swimming hole at the big cypress tree. I thought of the fun we used to have, and especially the mud fights that were so exciting. We were all grown up now, that is. The ones who were still alive. Such a change in 5.5 years. I was given my discharge on February 17th, 1946. I had been in the service for 5.5 years, and those are years I shall never forget. When I was in the service, I always felt so very young because everyone else was older than me. Returning to college, I felt just the opposite. I felt so much older than most of my students, and of course, I was. One thing I never talked about while in college was my experience in the service. I would tell new friends that I was a veteran and had served overseas, but that was it. I was still abiding by the military's request not to tell about your POW experience to anyone. I may not have had trouble keeping my POW experiences to myself after my return, but one aspect of the experiences I did have trouble with, and that was my dreams at night. Almost every night when I fell asleep, I found myself back in prison camp, and I would think to myself in my dream, how did this happen? I was sure I had been freed. It was heartbreaking to find that I was still a prisoner. It was just the reverse of what I had experienced in prison camp when I always dreamed I was free. When I woke up during the war, I found I was still a prisoner. But at least when I woke up as a civilian, I found that I was free. As good as this felt, it was still very disturbing mentally because these dreams lasted for about 10 years. For the first few years, I hated to go to sleep. But luckily, the dreams became less frequent. Even now, they are not completely gone. This dream tells me that in the recesses of my mind, I am still haunted by my participation and experiences during the Bataan Death March. It is something that I will undoubtedly be there always. But even though I may not be able to control my dreams, I long ago learned to live with my life as though none of this had ever happened. The dream that keeps coming back most often is one in which I find myself across a large body of water. I know that I must walk for miles and miles to return to where I want to be. In my mind, I know I have made this long, long walk before, and I know how difficult and time-consuming it will be. In my dream, I feel completely dejected because I wonder what could have happened to get me back to this place again. But in my dream, I start walking. I start walking.